Yep, these are the 5 ingredients as I've discovered them from building a game back in about January and running it for a few months. Some of the things that I did manage to do well enough, and some of the things that I still need to work on in the game. The opportunity in games in Facebook is quite big. They have, at the moment, relatively low production costs compared to offline games. One-man band can start basically a game company up, and there's quite a few of them out there. They're proven revenue generators. People are making quite good money from Facebook games. Offer Power reports kind of revenues of anything between about $50 and a few $100s per daily active user, which is not bad if you think you need a few thousand users to make a living, or a living wage anyway of some kind. There seems to be no sign of user appetite drying up. Games is one of the most successful things on Facebook. They're just rolling it out constantly, and people are kind of lapping them up in numbers. But the problem of developing games on Facebook is there's tens of thousands of applications, well, hundreds of thousands of applications on Facebook. There are tens of thousands of games out there. A lot of them haven't gone very far. You can see what the potential is at the top. We have developers like Zynga, Playfish, Living Social isn't really a game, Metro Games, who have kind of 45 million monthly active users between them. And then a whole level of games that only have 20 or 30, Flash games that maybe don't have the right social element in, whatever. There's a lot of competition. The problems with games, you want to gain users, you need to keep them there, and you need to make money out of them. So this is what I do, as Josh says. I write monetization tools for Facebook developers, so Headliners, which is social cache's banner ad product, but also develop applications because it keeps me in touch with the business, and also it's quite a good sideline. I develop Soccer Stars, which is the game I'm going to talk about today. Currently 20,000 monthly active users, doesn't sound like a huge amount, 3,000 daily. 6 degrees of separation, that's only about 75,000 at the moment. It's about 600,000 or 700,000 installs in all, I think. And then a host of others over the past couple of years. Which Vegetable Are You, which reached 300,000 users, and a whole load of other completely pointless apps that I sold about a year ago. And in a past life, back in the late 80s, early 90s, I wrote some Spectrum games. This one that I wrote in about 1990, but didn't realise that I'd had a review published in a national magazine for about 10 years until I found it on the internet, because I went off to university and never touched my Spectrum again. But I did get 8 out of 10, so I was quite pleased with that. And the kind of games I focus on, or when I'm thinking about designing games, are what I think is a border area between casual and hardcore social games. Now, casual games you might define as things like Scramble on Facebook. Tetris is quite a casual game, something you can drop in. You don't kind of level up. You just play it. You drop in 10 minutes, pass a bit of time, and you leave again. The hardcore games gets more towards the sort of World of Warcraft style, something where someone gets addicted and puts a lot of time into building a character and progress. The advantage is social games can be of either kind. You can play Scrabble or Scramble, those kind of games with your friends, or you can play the World of Warcraft RPG types with your friends. Those kind of games, I think, produce more long-term engagement than something like Chain Reaction. I don't know if you've seen that on Facebook. It was a huge hit a few weeks ago. Got, I think it's about 15 million monthly active users. I played it addictively for about 3 days on and off, as did everyone else in the office, until we got to kind of 50 million points, and then I'm not going to get any more. I'll stop now. That had a lifespan of about a week for me. That kind of relies on a lot of users clicking a lot of banner ads, and then a next hit in the next couple of months. So I quite like the virtual world, virtual economy type games where you're building something, you're getting people hooked, kind of creating a need that you can fulfill in the game. So I put together a football management game. It's fairly basic. It does take some inspiration from the ZX Spectrum games. If anyone ever played Kevin Tom's Football Manager from 1984, I think it was, that I used to play with Spectrum graphics. It taught me that you can play a game that you don't need a lot of graphics. You don't actually need a football game where you can even play football. You're managing a team. So you get a team, you challenge other teams, you buy and sell players, which is a team that starts off mostly made of your friends, ends up being made of complete strangers because you're buying and selling on a market. You progress up through a league structure, so you start off with a low-skilled team, you play other people, you build yourself up, and you get promoted. I said 20,000 monthly active users, about 3,000 daily, which is quite a good ratio for an app. 27% of visits incorporate more than 200, 20% 7% of visitors visit more than 200 times. It's a good addiction rate. I never played Chain Reaction more than 200 times. And professional games development companies on Facebook can never talk about how much money they make. At the moment, this is making about $1,000 a week through virtual currency monetization, which is not £2,500 a month. It's not a bad amount from 3,000 users. So it's an application which is not even in the top 500, I think, on Facebook that you can make a few thousand a month from.